I'm Cash, and welcome back to Cash Talks Football, where we break down all the goals scored in the Premier League. And today it's Nottingham Forest, the tricky trees against the Spurs, Spursing it up. And what can you expect really from the Spursy? It's the Spursy. So a couple of things I want to talk about as well in this game. And if you're new here, I do a watch along on Monday nights at 8 o'clock. I'm going to cover some of these points in depth, because you probably noticed this happening as well in the Premier League. The amount of times I'm seeing now, if I wasn't watching the game or I was doing a Wolfie watch along on Forest Fan TV, if you're a Forest fan, check him out over there. He's fantastic. He might have a heart attack with the way he gets so passionate. It's kind of, fun to watch along with Wolfie. But the amount of times there's decisions in games that's going on with referees, and then when you check back on the highlights, nothing's there. Absolutely nothing is there. It's like the TV coverage people are covering up for the referees more and more. I'll be discussing that a lot more in depth tomorrow night. Join us there at 8 o'clock. And I always forget to give my Patreons a big shout out, but much respect to those. If you want to support me, you can support over there, or follow me on Twitch with an Amazon Prime thingy, however that works. You guys know. But Forest only won 3-0. And what I mean only won 3-0, because they could have been at 3-0 up at half-time, to be honest. They were creating chance after chance. Now, Forest, I still think they're a club in transition with all of the upheaval and stuff they've had. I don't think they'll really start settling down until maybe February under Sean Dyche, and how that's going to pan out, good on his nose. Still think Edu's the biggest problem that they've got at the club. I covered that on a Monday Night Live. But we're just going to show you one of these first opportunities here, where this should have just been a goal. Boom, header straight onto the post. Just had to put it 1 millimetre the other side, and it's probably going in. But they created a lot of opportunities, the old Nottingham Forest, and they need to take advantage of those, because under Postecoglou, they were creating a lot of opportunities and not scoring. Okay, now they're creating a lot of opportunities again. They're not conceding anymore, which is great, but they're giving up some chances. They are. But they've got to take advantage of these chances. In a game of football, if you're not putting your chances away, sooner or later you will get punished. And you just have to get more clinical. I do think Jesus up front for them is a very clinical striker. But I just wanted to show you that little bump off the post. And let's move it on. This was another opportunity for Forest, but you can see how poor Spurs really are, okay? You've got, just players that are, okay, you can let him off because maybe he's tracking there, but there's no pressure on the ball whatsoever. There's no one trying to get over here. Doubled up for some reason, but he's still man-marked. Player over, but he's still man-marked. It's like they're just waiting to defend and not really trying to win the ball back, which basically just kept inviting pressure from Nottingham Forest just to come onto them wave after wave. And that's where, if they're a little bit more clinical in the final third, this could have been really, really ugly for the Spursy. So I just want to show you, just move this on ever so slightly here. Look, the bump, as the ball goes there, he's got no intention of closing the ball down. None. He's made a pass, knocks out over there, and he's just stood there like, okay, whatever. This is the only player going to pressure the ball and thinks he needs to get forward. I don't know. If you're a Spursy fan, let me know if this infuriates you today, because I haven't watched much of you this season. I don't think I've seen a full game of you guys. And if this is how you've been playing, I'd be going mad. I'd be going absolutely mad. So obviously, you give anybody this amount of time and space, there's no player in front of him. He's going to find one of these two players in the box. He's going to put a cross in. He's going to find them. And he does. And even with all the extra two players in the box, it still ends up being a sort of 1v1 situation on the headers. And the Spursy don't manage to get a touch on it. Forest do. And that should have been another goal, or at least on target. And it just goes wide. That's two up already. That should have really been goals. But we'll move it on anyway. So basically what was happening is Spurs, when you should get a goal, you haven't got one, so we're going to Spursy up and give you a goal. That's exactly what ends up happening here. And it's interesting, you see, who puts blame on who and what's really going on in this game, right? So we've got a terrible pass here. The moment he passes that, he has to be getting wide and deep down here. He doesn't move. He just makes the pass and stands there. Puts the goalkeeper in a situation. Here comes the pressure. Okay, we can see that happening, right? As that moves, the bump, you can see. Do you see? He doesn't move. He does not move. He does not open up the angle. All he has to do is take 3 or 4 more steps and be there. So, boom, get rid of that player. It doesn't matter about him now, but he doesn't move. Stands still, okay? Look at the way he's facing. He's facing his own goalkeeper, so it puts him in a bad situation. He should be sprinting out wide and deep down here as well, so the keeper's got an option to play it out to here. This is the only young kiddie that comes running in to receive the ball. But it's not on him. Watch this. Look at the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper can see not only is there a player coming in tracking him, there's also a player right next to him. So anything that goes into there is a mistake because there's two players. Now, it's also not if he plays first time and knocks it straight back here. But remember, look, this guy's still not moved. He's still not there, anticipating to receive a pass, and neither is he. If he plays it first time, he's not in trouble. But he doesn't. He takes a touch. That's it. Game's completely changed now because the keeper thought that this was a smart pass. And then they blame the kiddie under pressure here, who chances are he's probably got a 75% chance of losing the ball in this situation. Okay, so when the ball is played in, boomf, there you go. He's done. Other defender, you know the guy that hadn't moved the whole time? He's still sitting there having a picnic, not knowing what he's doing? Yeah. Well, he's also needing, I don't know, this is... So it goes down to goes to show when if you've coached in any of these systems of trying to play out the back, when the goalkeeper has the ball, if your centre backs aren't in certain situations, you're always putting yourself in trouble. And it's like we've read a coaching book and we're trying to do this system, but we're not actually implementing it correctly, and the players aren't actually doing exactly what they're supposed to do. So situations like this arise. Like if you're coaching the system and in the first sort of 3, maybe 6 weeks, this happens, you know you haven't got it right on the training field. But this far into the season, and you're still making errors like that, when you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 players from the Forest here, you know you shouldn't be passing the ball in this area as a goalkeeper. You know the middle of the field is compromised. You need to go wide, but of course your defenders haven't got wide and deep for you, so therefore they haven't given you the option. The only other real option he could have been going for, Blump, is putting it over to a player over here. But again, he's still kind of marked. It's just terrible football. It really is. But anyway, Forest nick it from him. Dump. Off they go. Should have shot first time. He should have just put this straight in there. But he doesn't. He actually goes, and when he gets close to the goalkeeper, he does make a little sort of cheeky outside of the foot pass to go around the goalkeeper. See, before I go and show you that pass, I want to show you, look at them all patting them on the head. Oh, it's not your fault. No, it's not your fault. It's your goalkeeper's fault. 100% your goalkeeper's fault for passing that ball into that area in the first place. Unbelievable. So the other part about it, why it's even more dreadful than you think, when you see that run, you see him coming in under pressure, you know he's creating space behind him because he's running from there. So you pass it to where he's come from because that's where the space is open up to. It's awful, just awful football. Here you go. This is the angle you can see. He makes a really little quality flip with the outside of the foot for a nice little tap in, and Forest go 1-0 up. Let's move it on. I just want to highlight this as well, okay, because this was a clear corner and it was given as a goal kick. And the reason why decisions like this are important is because Gibbs White goes mental. And he's lucky that he doesn't get booked. And in the modern day, if he was on a yellow, the ref would have sent him off, right? And I thought this is what VAR was supposed to be doing as well as looking at corners. But apparently not this week. I thought that we were told at the beginning that VAR is going to look at corners, right? Well, this isn't a corner. Sorry, this is one of those times where you can see, boom, he knocks it out for a corner. So why isn't that overturned? And this is my problem with football, is the fact that it'll be so quick before the next game. No one will ever answer to that. The ref will get off scot-free and we'll carry on again. And it's just slowly killing football. But let's move it up. So this is Spurs again trying to get out and they don't. Ball's cut out. Knocked down here, and this is where we're going to pick up the play over here on the wing. And the same thing we were talking about, putting pressure on the ball and the intent. Remember, it's the intent to try to win the ball back. It's not just running down there for running's sake. There's no intent from Spurs to try to win this football back. Okay, I'm going to play this in tiny little screenshots like this so you can understand what I'm seeing and what's going on. See where the ball is? The intent is to put pressure on and win that football. None at all. Absolutely none. Watch, the ball's bouncing. Joggy, slowly, not even there yet. Allows, I think it's Hudson-Odoi, to stop. He's still not pressuring, still not getting there. He's so worried about the empty space in behind. Here's a trick in football, right? You do not have to worry about the space if you can win the football. And the reason why you would pressure the ball is because Hudson-Odoi is facing this way, okay? And you know, okay, he can spin and run in behind you. So you're aware of that, and you're cutting that angle down as you're running in and you're pressuring him. It's called a curved run, curved defensive run. I just don't think they coach anything in football anymore. I just think they have like tea and biscuits and show off their watches. I really do. But yeah, like he's nowhere near him at all. Now, when he finally gets there, he's worried about a cross that doesn't happen because he's been faked out. Oh, and he runs down here, and eventually, I think Hudson-Odoi cuts him back maybe 2 or 3 times. And there's no look. These other guys just walking. He's like, I'm done for the day. Yeah, I'm still getting paid. I couldn't care less. It's just terrible defending. Overall terrible midfield play. It's like you have the opportunity to win the ball because it's taking its time bouncing and rolling towards him, and you've got the attacking player facing away from the goal. You can make it really difficult for him to bring it down and touch, turn, do anything. You choose not to do that, take advantage of that. Then you let him bring it down, and then you cause yourself problems by just not really watching what he's doing. And when all's said and done, is look how far the separation is from the player and Callum Hudson-Odoi from tricking him backwards and forwards on the wing. Let's be fair, Hudson-Odoi is a good player. He's not a great player. He's a good player. He's not going to do you that much and put that much separation on you if you're touch tight to him the whole time and watching what's going on with the ball. That is way too far. I mean, that's just unbelievable. Gives him all the time in the world, and this is a cross all day long. This is not a shot. He's not shooting this. This is just one of those. One of my favourite things is saying as a coach is putting a cross shot. What's a cross shot, you ask? It's a cross, but it's on target. So it's going towards the goal. That's what you want to do. You're aiming it towards the back post. If no one touches it, it might go in. But it's a cross there, and anyone touches it going in, heading it towards, they might be able to get themselves a goal. And again, this is just poor goalkeeping, right? The ball's travelling a long way. Here it is, right here. You can see the ball right there, right? The ball's travelling a long way. You can see where it is. And at no point does the keeper move his feet. All he's got to do is do one step backwards. Doesn't move one step backwards. He moves one sort of step sideways, tries to jump up, and the next thing he knows, it's in the back of the net. One step backwards would have saved that. He couldn't be bothered. Yeah, well done, Spursy. Let's move it on. Oh, he's doing the thing. Oh, he's doing this. 2 of them doing the thing. They've got their arms up telling everybody else what to do. So we know in the next 5 seconds, someone's going to score a goal in the Premier League. That's definitely an S, boys and girls. Now, the reason behind this, I've said this numerous of times. Okay. So if you're concentrating on not on winning the football or telling other people what to do, your brain is 100%, right? You need 100% of your brain power working all of the time to play in the Premier League. If you are down at any moment from that, you're going to make mistakes. So if you're telling somebody else what to do, 80% of your brain is focused on telling someone else what to do. 20% is concentrating on your job at hand. Now, you can argue that only 20% is concentrated on telling somebody what to do and you're doing 80% of your job. That's fine, but you still need 100% of your brain to be focused on the job or you will get beaten at this level. You cannot be pointing your arm up here, telling somebody else what to do, especially when he's fine, okay? It's very different, by the way. Person close to the ball, and this is the reason why. He's supposed to be challenging and stopping this guy running through here. Like, why are you telling him to go and mark over there? You go win the football. Go win the football. It's your job. Now remember, the person that's supposed to be winning the football needs to be on 100%. The person behind him, he can organise, he can control, he can tell people what to do. It's very different. But as soon as you're stopped and he's allowing Nottingham Forest, basically they're not running with the ball. They're not just walking with the ball. Oh look, just walking with the ball. And not only that, because you were telling him what to do, he didn't bother. He didn't go out wide and mark the player out there. So you didn't pressure the ball there, and he didn't bother to go out there at all whatsoever. It's unbelievable. This happens week in, week out. And also, ask yourself, if someone else is yelling you what to do you do it honestly? You're a grown man. Like, men, we're petulant children. If you tell us to do something, we're not going to do it, even though it could save our life. We will not do it because someone's told us to. We know that. It's the same on a football field. Exactly the same. But what's really happening is Spurs are just basically waiting for the Forest to come and smash the ball in the goal. That's all they're doing. They're not putting any pressure on. No intent to win the ball back. Jogging, having a little bit of chat, telling each other what to do. Now this bit is key. Okay, so you can see 1 here, 2 here. This is what's really happening. So you can see this pocket of space. This is where the shot's going to come up and it's going to go. It's going up about that. Right. But the 2 dynamic runs here pull all the rest of these people, they're not really defending, pull them out of the way of this space here. We'll move this forward. Watch this. Do you see as they move forward? Do you see they start tracking with them a little bit more? And here we go. Here's our little guy coming into this pocket of space, but the runners are making sure the defenders are staying a little further back. Now, they don't need much encouragement to stay further back, but those runs are just enough. So I'm telling you right now that this is an absolutely terrible pass. This is what we call a hospital ball, right? Except for Spursies aren't playing football at all today. They just decided to let them do what they want. This ball isn't hit properly and is rolled. One of these two players here should be snapping his leg right there. Watch this, though. Watch this. As this ball's played, neither of them start running towards the ball and pressuring it. Absolutely neither of them. It's just like they're shocked that the ball's been passed and we just stand here and somehow we're going to defend the 18-yard box with our magical force fields. And hopefully he doesn't just smash the ball into the corner. Well, guess what he does? Smashes the ball into the corner. And still they're not running at him. Remember, running at him is enough to put him off. That's all you need to do. Put him off. Bush. Smash. Great goal. Absolutely wonderful goal. But I'm telling you now, that is poor from the Spursy all over. If the Forest can keep this up, I know they're losing a couple of players to the AFCON, but I think I'm not sure if the Hammers won or not in the end, but they need to start putting points on the board as quickly as they can to make themselves safe. Other than that, join me tomorrow on Monday Night Live, and I'll see you next time on Cash Talks Football.